Hello, Gemini. Mercury is trine Ceres on the 6th, and on the 19th, Mercury goes retrograde in Gemini. Also, on May Day, on the 1st, we have Mercury transiting into Gemini. So that's a lot going on in your sign, Gemini, and a lot going on by the planet that rules you. So this month is going to be a lot of overthinking things, and there's also going to be a lot of wanting to deal with things from the past, or past issues, or past relationships in many arenas coming up. Now, let's see how your ruling planet of Mercury affects you this month, Gemini. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Thank you for joining us. This is an angelic horoscope transmission from your Gemini angel Umbriel, who resides over your mutable air nature. And these are his messages for you in love, money, and health. First, we're going to talk about your guardian angel being Raphael. And Raphael rules over all the air signs. And he speaks to you through your specific Gemini teaching angel of Umbriel. So that's the focus on God's great diamond, if you will, or God's great clock. You understand. Even crystals have a pulse. So timepieces. That's what the Alpha and the Omega is. It's simply time. It's the serpent of time, the head and the tail. Because the Father God has no head and no tail. He has no beginning and no end. The Son has a beginning and an end. And that makes him the serpent in the garden, the speaking, the talking serpent. All right. Now, the first Mercury ingress into Gemini is going to affect your love life. First, this love priority issue. Because your target population that Gemini is looking for this month in May for love relationships, this kind of thing, you're targeting people, Gemini, who are exciting, but they're, quite frankly, too self-centered to commit, at least at the moment. So just understand that, and it'll start to make sense to you. Now, this is because, again, Mercury ingress into Gemini on May Day. So this is going to cause you to think too much about all this. Overthinking love issues, which have nothing to do with thinking at all. It's ruled by forces that are unconscious and subconscious and hormonal. It's not ruled by what you're thinking or logic. Love doesn't have anything to do with logic. Now, on the 3rd, this is all going to get very exciting and very interesting, very creative. On the 3rd, we have the full moon in Scorpio, which will accentuate the creativity of Gemini, because the Scorpio aspect will bring the creativity through the full moon. And that's going to make a lot of very imaginative, unique thinking and ideas and overexpressive ideations. So what you want to do is understand that and enjoy it, but don't let it get you to the point where you're thinking so much you can't function properly. Because your emotions will react to your thinking, and if you start overthinking things, then you're going to disquiet your emotions, and that's going to affect all kinds of arenas in your life. All right, now, Gemini, Mercury opposes Saturn on the 3rd as well. That's going to cause... Now, Mercury's still direct in Gemini at this point on the 3rd, but with the Mercury opposing Saturn facet, it's going to cause a kind of a throwback against what seems like past ideas, which are going to come again into the topic of conversation when Mercury goes retrograde on the 19th, and it's going to be retrograde in Gemini from the 19th of May until the 11th of June. So that's a lot of sort of backwards thinking or thinking about the past, again, in many arenas. A lot of people need to understand that even in matters of romance, there's a lot of archaic laws still on the books, and all they have to do is be enforced. And they get very specific. So be careful what laws you want to bring through for other people that you're dealing with in your family or in your relationships that are friend or romantic relationships, because there are so many laws that you would have a very hard time keeping up with it. It might even take more of an artificial intelligence to keep up with all of that, indeed. Kind of an e-lawyer, if you will. So what you need to understand is that they have robotic doctors that can do surgery. Well, they have robotic lawyers as well. So just understand that there's so many specific laws that started in Babylon that be careful what you wish for. All right, now on the 10th we have Mother's Day, and just before that, a few days before that, on the 6th, Mercury trine Ceres, the Divine Mother, there's an alliance with Mom, an alliance with the maternal side of the family. And on Mother's Day, you want to be especially friendly to Mom, because the Mercury trine Ceres will cause that alliance to be very powerful. That's going to cause Virgo, because that's ruled by Mercury as well, and Gemini to align with Mom or the maternal side of the family, or the Divine Feminine, taught in Christian Kabbalah. Now, and don't forget Mother's Day on the 10th. On the 17th, we have a new moon in Taurus, and that causes friendship to become extremely important once again. Now, for the money issues, for Umbriel's money transmission for you, Gemini, we have on the 3rd, we have Mercury opposing Saturn. How that's going to affect financial dealings is that people are going to say they prefer happiness to stability. But will he or she commit to me? I don't want to commit to them, but will they commit to me? No. If you don't commit to them, they're not going to commit to you. It's the way it works. So that answers that. Okay, so that's going to cause people to want to say, hey, I just want to be happy. I don't want to, all this commitment. And hey, I just want it to be fun. I don't want to have anything where, I don't want to have to become very wealthy or deal with that or buy anybody anything fancy. I just, what is that? Money can't buy me love? Well, the people who sing Money Can't Buy Me Love sure made a lot of money, didn't they? As far as I remember, the guy who said that they were more famous than Jesus Christ, he didn't end up in a good situation now, did he? All right. Now, okay, so on the 6th, Mercury trine Ceres. That means that people are going to go crying back to Mom. Obviously. On the 19th, Mercury retrograde in Gemini. Again, these old archaic laws, all written in the Babylonian Talmud. These laws are very specific. They even deal with things like what to do if people are going to clone organs and that kind of thing. Any kind of bizarre medical or biotech thing you can think of has already been handled in the Babylonian Talmud. These laws are written. They're on the books. There's a lot of them. Now, for your health matters, be wary this month, Gemini, of psychosomatic illnesses. Now, Gemini's going to be afraid of pancreatic issues, problems with the pancreas in many different arenas. It can cause, different kinds of malignancies, or can cause various types of diabetic situations. Just pancreatic problems. Again, we've quoted her before. We'll quote her book again. Again, you need to get the book by Louise Hay, published by Hay House, Heal Your Body, because that means all the sweetness has gone out of life. If you're having pancreatic problems, these kind of problems, or it means that you're nurturing old wounds, in this area. So like, people aren't being sweet to you. Well, maybe you need to be sweet to them. And maybe too much syrupy sweetness that's not genuine, because disingenuous syrupy sweetness makes everybody sick. So what you want to do is just be a little more real, be firm, but nice, but be firm. And you don't have to be nice if you're honest. You don't have to be overly blunt if you're honest. Honesty clears many things out of the way. If true communication is what you want, and proper communication will help increase your self-esteem and help your health greatly in May of 2015. Okay, so when Mars ingress into Gemini on the 12th and the Sun ingress into Gemini on the 21st, respectively, that could cause passionate, sort of, overly yang situations in the body, which can, be harmonized because of the solar influence. So what you want to do is understand that it could be overly yang precautions taken for the lungs to kind of guard against flu or that kind of thing, or overly acidic conditions of the stomach. So please see your licensed homeopathic or naturopathic physician, or see your acupuncturist, your licensed acupuncturist, if you want to deal with these issues. All right, now we're going to go over the afterglow, your afterglow, Gemini. We've highlighted here some of the we feel are important for you to know for May 2015, some of the planetary facets. Remember, on May 19th through June 11th, Mercury is retrograde in Gemini. On the 1st, Mercury goes into Gemini, the ingress is Gemini, but it doesn't go retrograde to the 19th. And it'll go direct again. It'll go direct on June 11th of 2015. It'll go direct in Gemini, still Gemini. And again, Mercury is the ruler of Gemini and Virgo. May 1st, Mercury ingress Gemini. May 3rd, Mercury opposes Saturn. That's also a full moon in Scorpio. Also on the 3rd, we have Mercury opposing Saturn. Sorry, I just said that. On the 6th, Mercury trines Ceres. That's the Divine Mother. And on May 9th, Mercury square Neptune. The 10th is Mother's Day. Don't forget Mom. On May 12th, Mars ingress Gemini. That's just kind of for your information. Another one for your information, Sun ingress Gemini on the 21st. On the 9th, Mercury square Neptune. On the 27th, Mercury conjunct Mars. On May 29th, Mercury square Neptune. On May 30th, Mercury trine Ceres. And on the 30th, Sun conjunct Mercury. And again, these aspects, what you just want to, you might be getting too much yang energy. We all might be. So we need to balance that out. So see anybody who's good at homeopathic, and those who are good at allopathic combined with homeopathic healing or naturopathic healing are really helpful because they can help you in both areas and are licensed MDs. Okay. Thank you for joining us, Gemini. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel, and we'll see you next month.